Start this one.
Hey everybody!
What's up?
So this was supposed to be anime versus samurai thing, but we had something happen, Sean.
Something came up. We got a special thing come out. Netflix released Castlevania, a 4-episode. I don't know how you would classify this. I wouldn't exactly classify it as an OVA. Four-episode miniseries.
It said season 1.
Yeah.
I classify it as God damn it. Just God damn it.
It's a little bit of a weird one, honestly, and not in a good way. Usually, when you talk about Castlevania being weird, you get like flying Medusa heads and shit.
What the fuck did I watch, Sean?
You watched somebody's interpretation of Castlevania, which was basically Game of Thrones meets.
No, that was not Game of Thrones.
No, it was Game of Thrones meets Vampire Hunter D.
Meets Dracula Untold.
Now, I have some theories about this, actually, as we go forward, so I'll save those to the end. But let's start off, where do we want to start with this? Unpacking this. I suppose we should start with the animation, since that's like the big concern that a lot of people have about Netflix anime series.
I didn't mind the animation, it was just...
There's nothing stand out about it.
No, it's
perfectly fine animation. It's fluid enough, but the characters are very non-expressive.
When it comes to animation, when I think of what Netflix can do, I'd rather watch Voltron.
Right. That was honestly my big thing I was thinking of I was like, Voltron is actually way more better animated.
I really like Voltron.
It's much more vibrant and active.
I really like Voltron on Netflix.
One of the big things I think we should talk about is the gore in this, because I was doing a bit of reading, and they say, oh, it's so bloody and it's got guts and gore. I'm like, oh yeah, but I mean, I saw this shit in Fist of the North Star way back when, and it was way worse than this.
If you want blood and gore, go watch fucking Berserk.
Yeah, that does
the original.
I was about to say don't go watch the. I don't want to say don't go watch the movies they re-released them as.
It's just they reanimated it.
There's way more heart with the original release with the limited animation budget, and it looks way better.
There's so much goddamn gore.
This was
fucking amazing, though.
I don't know. This came off as just wannabe ultra violence. I was honestly reminded of a lot of schlock animes that you could catch back in the 90s.
Yeah. My biggest thing is why is this a thing after this season? I don't understand how it has almost a 5-star rating. First of all, the first 2 episodes put me the fuck to sleep, because Sean's like, Jared, go watch it. We can do a video in 2 hours. I got through towards the end of the second episode. I saw as much as I needed to see, I fell asleep for 5 or 6 hours.
It's a 4-episode mini, and
I fell asleep halfway.
You can pretty much cram the entire series in one good sitting.
If you don't fall the fuck asleep.
If you don't fall asleep, which is kind of unfortunate, because that's something that really easily happens, because I guess we can go past the animation since and the gore and go straight into the biggest problem with this is the story and how it makes no fucking sense.
The first 2 episodes, it takes you 2 episodes to meet your goddamn main character. So the first episode is...
Well, you meet him in the tail end of the first episode.
No, it was the second.
What?
The first one was all Dracula.
I watched this yesterday. He watched it
The first
3 hours ago. I don't remember any of it hardly.
The
it's so
first
forgettable.
episode is all Dracula. Like the first 10 minutes is how he met his wife, and then the 10 minutes later they're burning his wife at the stake.
Well,
it jumps years.
I guess we should kind of start out with that because that's kind of the crux of the story is Dracula in this.
This girl goes to Dracula to learn better medicine.
Yes.
He ends up falling in love with her. She convinces him to travel. So while he's traveling, the church calls her a witch and thinks Dracula's the devil. And
well, there's variations on a theme in that, but either way.
Anyway,
for whatever reason, this story wants to introduce the Catholic Church as like an antagonist, which the Church has never been an antagonist in Castlevania until this point.
And they burned Dracula's wife at the stake, and that makes him vow revenge, and he tells them all, in a year, I'm going to come back and kill the world, is basically...
Well, he says in another scene, it'll take me 1 year to raise an army from the depths of hell. And that really highly contradicts most of the beginning because the woman that he apparently falls in love with says, "Oh yeah, you're a scientist. Clearly, you know things that no one can. Teach me some more sciencey shit." But then he's like, "Yes, I am truly evil and will raise hell."
Well, because his wife got killed.
Because his wife got killed.
And then the second episode is it jumps a year to when
it jumps
he
that year
actually
when everybody just was like, "Yeah, that giant flaming face we saw in the middle of town that said it'd kill us all in a year. I'm not moving. Fuck it. Smoke and mirrors, that's all it is."
And then he actually shows up and makes it rain blood. Then
the blood rain was actually a really cool scene. I was kind of like, man, that's actually really goddamn metal.
That's the second episode. That's halfway through. Then we get our main character.
Yeah, then we get our main character drunk in a bar.
Yeah, he is the tail end. And his whole part in that episode was this just explaining who he is and him fighting.
Right, but that's kind of the biggest problem of this is all you really have to say is he's Trevor Belmont.
Yeah.
And that's like, I instantly know who this is, or at least what he's going to be doing. I don't need this big, complicated backstory about the Belmonts being excommunicated by the church and him being the last of his lineage.
That is episode 3.
Right.
It's pretty much that right there. And then him meeting the girl.
Yes.
He saves the girl from the Cyclops.
We get fantastically little character development when we get an absolute dump truck full of exposition about backstories.
Yep.
And why people are doing things. We learn Dracula apparently had a son at some point, presumably with the woman that came to his house.
I don't remember how big.
He refers to saying it's like, "That's what my mother would want," at like the end of the 4th episode.
Yeah, well, he shows up for quite literally 10 seconds.
Yeah, he shows up for like 10 seconds and
the girl was in Dracula's castle looking for this guy because he was supposed to be.
There's time codes. I don't know about you, but I completely disregarded the year codes because I was just like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. But the girl got turned to stone by a Cyclops until dude unfroze her.
Well, let's rein that back a bit because there's some more stuff we got to talk about before we get there because there's actually, it turns out, another group that's trying to stop Dracula. That's not the Belmonts or the church. There's this group of people called the Searchers, the Seers,
something like that. They have powers,
something like that. They use black magic, and the church doesn't like them because they use black magic. No, we can't have that. Blah 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 blah.
We don't get any of that though until like the second half of the third episode. He rescues her in the first half
until
of the
he goes
third
down
episode.
into the catacombs to try and find one of them's. They say it's the old man's grandson, and then he's like, "Oh, you're actually a woman." Which I guess I've been putting this off long enough. Trevor Belmont's an asshole. I don't mean that in like how Ash from Army of Darkness is kind of a smarmy asshole, but you still love him. He's just a straight up prick, and I'm kind of sitting there. I'm like, I kind of wish Dracula would kill you. Like in the end, I don't care about your little quest. I don't care about you losing your family and everything, and now all of a sudden you want to preserve your family's honor or whatever.
But the fourth episode, he kills everybody that pissed Dracula off.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Is Dracula
quite literally serves
he has
no purpose
killed everybody at this point, and he's that was there at the burning of his wife, and now he's just like, screw it, I'll keep killing the world. I guess.
Dude, like the main character Belmont, he package delivered the priest for him. He wrapped him up and tied him up just right there for Dracula.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I remember the demons.
He killed like half the church, and he...
Well, there is that. Apparently the church employ... I don't know how historically accurate this is. I know the church had... the Catholic Church had corruption problems way back when, kind of like they do now, but... Well, there we just lost the Catholic Church viewership, so I'm sorry, everybody. But
maybe one of you that was one.
Hey, you don't know. People can be Catholic and cool. But apparently,
not watching a Castlevania
corruption is rampant in the church because they employ rapists and thieves. And Trevor Belmont uses his whip to remove fingers and eyes, which I was sort of okay with the gore and the blood and everything. Basically, right up until this point. With the demons coming in, they're like slicing people in half and biting heads off and shit, and I'm actually kind of like, I can dig it. You know, why not? I've watched violent schlock animes before, so I watched Bio Booster or Guyver. I know what's up.
I've watched both of them.
Yeah, there you go. That's a way more violent show. And
I watched the like the 90s one, and the 2000s one was not much better. The 2000 one was so much more violent.
Well, that was kind of my big thing. I was like, okay, so we're basically going to get a violent schlock anime, which I was totally down for. And then we spend like about an hour and a half of a 2-hour series putzing around with a bunch of people I don't give a shit about. And that's basically where it all leads to. Apparently there's this underground crypt that the searcher or whatever his name is, Jared will correct me down on the thing.
Sure.
His not grandson, turns out to be his granddaughter, has gone down to find an old sleeping soldier, as a legend states it, who is resting beneath the city in the catacombs.
And it's Dracula's son.
And it turns out to be Dracula's son. And all the while they're doing combat, I'm just sitting there going, it's like, we know who this is. We've seen him. We know it's Dracula's son. It's going to be Alucard. Anybody who's ever played a Castlevania game knows what the fuck is going on here. Let's hurry this up. And they drag it out. And it's just this extended fight.
That was the second half of the fourth episode.
It is. They drag out the fight between Alucard, whatever her name is, we'll call her Blondie. It's a fight between Alucard, Blondie, and Trevor Belmont.
And Blondie does not do shit. To
be fair, if you've ever played a Castlevania game where you have one of those characters, they don't really do a whole lot for you in that game.
I've never played a Castlevania game.
Really?
Never.
Well, I think I know what we should do next then. But that is neither here nor there. And yeah, it just kind of it ends with Alucard saying, "Yes, I've heard of the tale of the old soldier, but for me, it was always a tale from the future." And so it's like, what the fuck's going on? Or are we getting some stupid ass time travel thing going on?
Fucking A right we are.
And I don't know what happened. But they put aside all their differences just by saying, yes, I want to kill Dracula. Do you want to kill Dracula? Yes, I want to kill Dracula. Let's go kill Dracula. And that's it. I wish I could say I was exaggerating that, but I'm not. It is literally a 30-minute conflict that is resolved in about 30 seconds.
Sean can tell you, I went downstairs, I looked at Sean, and I was like, what the fuck did you just make me watch?
Because
he told me yesterday, he's like, we gotta put Samurai on hold because we're
do we want to give opinions about our samurai animes?
I liked it. I like Samurai 7.
You like Samurai 7?
Yes.
We had a versus match that was supposed to happen until Castlevania happened.
I like Samurai 7.
I challenged him to watch Samurai 7, which is like the
it was
anime.
Afro Samurai, but I had already seen Afro Samurai.
That's right, so we switched it over
so it was
Samurai 7.
Switched it to Samurai 7.
Which is basically an anime adaptation of Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai, which is a really great movie if you can ever slog through all 3.5 hours of it. Fuck, that movie's long.
So much.
It's great, but... so you enjoyed Seven Samurai?
Yes.
And you charged me with watching
Samurai
Champloo, which I found it to be perfectly fine. Its
only problem was Bebop came first.
My biggest problem was the person who helmed Samurai Champloo also helmed Cowboy Bebop, and Cowboy Bebop came first. And I love sci-fi way more than I do fantasy or historical stuff. So that was already something I wasn't going to be as invested for, but even still, the characters are developed perfectly fine. But again, it's just I saw Cowboy Bebop where you sort of did all this better the first time.
Well, that was a quick Samurai versus.
It was. We had to make room for Castlevania.
Well, we both enjoyed.
We both enjoyed it. I enjoyed it enough, but then we watched Castlevania,
and God, fuck, why did you make me? God.
And yeah, it ends with them walking forward to go defeat Dracula,
God,
and it's like I expect two things out of Castlevania. One is vampires. And the other is A. Belmont killing said vampires. And I got one of those, and maybe 3 minutes of another.
Fuck!
Because there's a scene where they fight, and Trevor Belmont rallies the village, and he's like, "Don't worry, I've been trained to fight them. I've been trained to fight demons. Just listen to what I say." And everybody looks at him and goes, "Well, a minute ago, we were totally slamming you for blaspheming the church and saying that you were evil incarnate, but fuck it, we'll listen to you now."
Well, now all the church, you just killed half the church while the
but nobody else knows that.
Well, the demons did the rest of it for him.
The demons came in and they were like,
he for real hog-tied this motherfucker for Dracula, though, so I don't even know what his conflict with Dracula is. Dracula now serves no goddamn purpose.
He's basically just a bad guy there to be a bad guy.
Yeah, because Trevor Belmont just hand-delivered your goddamn person to you that killed your wife.
I still don't remember this scene.
He did. He was tied the fuck up, and Dracula came in from under the... It was the fire shit. He wasn't actually there, but...
I don't remember this scene. The last scene I remember with the guy who put his wife to the flames was when the demons came into the church and one of them munched on his head.
Well, he was there.
And he's like, "You can't come in here. This is a house of God. There is no God here for you. He doesn't love you unconditionally."
So
that's all I remember out of that scene.
I'd say
I just remember being fantastically bored.
So are we
with a violent schlock anime?
So are we saying that we're saying skip Castlevania and watch the Samurai?
I don't know if I would say skip it, because this kind of reminds me of a very strange point that we don't see a whole lot anymore. Because this feels like something that started out life not as a Castlevania anime. This feels like it was started out as basically just random vampire and demon slaying anime, and then
they slapped the name.
And then they just slapped Castlevania on there, and they did a few minor alterations, and they're like, and done. Because there's not enough Dracula, there's not enough Trevor Belmont killing Dracula vampires. And
I think
there's
we're missing
way too much talking about this stuff.
We're missing like 2 episodes for sure.
That was the other thing that it feels like. It feels like one of those direct-to-DVD movies you would get of OVAs that was cut down to like 90 minutes.
Dude, even like the Vixen thing that was like 10-minute episodes apiece, they crammed the first 2 seasons together and gave it out as a movie.
Right. But yeah, this felt like it was either not complete or it was a more complete thing that somebody just took a hatchet to. And I don't know which is which, but it's kind of an interesting anomaly to happen in today's direct market world where stuff like that I thought was a thing of the past.
Especially with Netflix, man.
Especially with Netflix. That's the big kicker there is this is something that's been directed by Netflix direct to the entire season. You don't have to sit there and wait and say, oh, guess I'll wait a week to see what happens. You get to be disappointed all in one go.
Yep. At least it wasn't a lot to painfully sit through.
No, it was relatively short. So
they're probably going to slap us with 4 more episodes, and maybe we'll get some questions answered.
Personally, I would give it a pass.
Year.
I would give it a pass. If you want a really good vampire anime, go watch Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. It is an infinitely superior film in just about all respects. Well, do we want to draw from the hat and see what's next?
I was about to say, get the hat.
All right, I'm going to get the hat.
Since we quickly covered our samurai.
Yeah. I was also thinking that we watch the same one and we talk about which one we want to do. And then we'll watch the same anime and give dueling opinions, I guess.
Alright, we'll mix it up. We'll see what works. And
what are we doing? That's a long one. Oh.
Ninja!
Okay.
We went from you know what? Since we just did samurai,
we want to try again.
We'll try again because ninjas are going to be roughly
trying again because I think I know one that's going to be addressed, and we're going to say, yeah, this is the one to watch.
Medieval. You know what? For my medieval one, we can do this real quick. Go watch Berserk.
Berserk, or if you want a less violent one, I would say Escaflowne. Not the Vision of Escaflowne, but like the original TV series that aired. It's kind of chopped up.
I don't even know why I put medieval in there because the only one I know you watch Berserk, and that's the only one I can think of.
All right, third time's the charm.
All right. Please, dear God, if it's one...
Give us something good. Mechs. Okay. So, till next time, everybody. Tune in next time, and we'll be discussing a mech show.
Alright, guys.
Do you want to throw one out there real quick?
I have a couple in my head that we could watch, but...
Okay, well, give us one.
Wait, I thought we were going to watch the same show.
Well, we are, but I have a couple of suggestions of my own, so...
I'd have a couple of Gundam seasons I think are really good.
Oh.
Or Big O.
That was basically my big two. I was either going to do 0080, which is a really emotional and well-developed story, or Big O, which starts out really, really strong, and the second season just kind of goes...
My Gundam season would probably be G Gundam or Double O, which has 2 seasons and a movie.
Well, we'll hash that out. If
Yeah.
you guys have any deciding factors, let us know down in the comments, and we'll see about maybe doing one of those instead.
Alright, guys.
Either way, we'll see you back here next time.
Alright, later, guys.
Laters.